My name is Melissa Trimmer. I'm the corporate chef here at Dawn Foods. Today we're going to be making muffins in the style of a Rosca de Reyes. So we're going to get all those awesome flavors in a cool muffin shape. So everything from almond, orange, and lemon, they're all going to be inside the muffin. Let's get started. We're going to start with whole eggs and cake base. We're going to mix on low for 1 minute. Once we get through that first minute of mix, you'll notice the bowl has gotten to cleanup stage. That means there's no more mix left at the bottom, which is perfect to turn it up to medium for 3 more minutes. I really want you to take a look at what's happening in the bowl. That extra mix develops the crumb structure in a way that it wouldn't if the liquids were already in. This is gonna make the most tender, beautiful, tight crumb on this cream cake. It's gonna be awesome. I'm going to mix a bunch of the flavoring items in with my wet items. So we'll start with the water, oil. Next we'll add an almond emulsion, lemon fruit bits, and finally, orange fruit bits. Now, some regions use cinnamon in their roscas, and if that's you, then please add cinnamon at this stage. If not, let's keep mixing. At this point, we're going to scrape the bowl really, really well. Be sure to scrape that little button on the bottom of the bowl. If you miss it, your batter will be sure to have lumps. We're gonna put this back on the mixer for another 3 minutes on low. After it's done mixing, we're going to add the solid inclusions. In this case, I've got royal glacé fruit and sliced almonds. Look at the variety of this Bakery Essentials glacé fruit. It's gonna be so delicious because there's so many different types. Next, sliced almonds. We are just gonna mix this until it's together, so you could do it by hand or for about 10 seconds on the mixer. Look at all the tasty flavors in there. Now it's time to scoop the muffins. I'm using crown muffin pans, which have this little lip around the outside. Consumers prefer a crown muffin to a jumbo or traditional muffin, so that's why I'm using this pan. If you don't have it, no worries. This will work in our conventional pan too. The biggest change is that we have to put a little bit of pan spray on before we use a liner. I love Bakery Essentials pan spray because it releases perfectly every time. First, we're going to spray just around the outside on each cavity. The liners that we use for a crown muffin pan only go up to that first lip. So even though this is technically a jumbo muffin pan, we're using a conventional size liner because that's what works in a crown pan. I'm going to use a number 8 gray scoop to scoop my batter. It's going to give me about 4.5 ounces of batter per deposit. Make sure it's nice and flat on the bottom when you scoop so that you have even consistent scoops. This helps with baking. Once we're done scooping, we're going to top this with a classic pasta topping. This is a classic recipe used to top conchas, pandanes, many other things, including a Rosca de Reyes. So what we're going to use is a speed icer. We'll use the textured side down and do a little stripe on top of each muffin. we simply pipe a stripe across the top. Now it's time for garnish. First, we're going to sprinkle with a few almonds, then we'll put on the acetron strips. So, just a few. You always want to make sure when putting nuts in a bakery product that there are nuts on the outside so that consumers know that they're getting a nut product. Next, the acetron strips. If you love to put the candied figs on yours, they could go on top also. I'm going to do 2 red stripes on each one and a green in the middle. If you wanted to run these outside of the holiday season, this is a great way to use up your extra holiday garnish. You'll notice some of the edges go past the end of the pan, and that's okay because my muffins are going to crown and lift those pieces right up. They're ready to go in the oven. We're going to bake these at 360 degrees until they're nice and golden brown and they spring back lightly when touched. My muffins have baked and cooled. Check this out. Look at that gorgeous crown muffin shape. How it rises on the top, looks super appetizing. And you can see the pasta, the acetron, and when we open it up, we see all that yummy flavor. For more seasonal recipe inspiration, visit us at dawnfoods.com.